Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video for today. This one is going to be doing our first Walking Dead Q&A video. Of course, I got some questions from you guys for the first Walking Dead Q&A video, which I did ask you guys for some questions a couple days ago, and I did get, a good amount for the first one, but of course, I want to go over something real quick, of course, before we start this Q&A. If you want to participate in the Walking Dead Q&A, the second one that I'll be doing probably next week or so, all you got to do, because I'm starting up my own Walking Dead Q&A series, which it's probably going to be weekly on this channel, most likely. Maybe Fridays, actually, because it's a pretty good day because we don't really have too much of a big topic to actually talk about on Fridays. So, because I mainly am, daily. I mainly upload daily videos. If I don't, there's usually a good reason. But, anyway, so yeah, I honestly, because I have like a schedule for almost every video, at least, every day of the week. So, it's really, really cool. So for Friday, I don't really have anything for the channel. So definitely, I think this is a cool one. Walking Dead Q&A, for the TV series, one. But also, you guys can ask comic questions and, different, universe questions if you guys want to. I'll answer those as well. But, just for the rules of the Q&A, if you want to answer, if you want me to answer your question, all you got to do is, write your question for the second Q&A in this comment box. All you gotta do is write Q&A and then just write your comments. It's real simple, and then I'll pick your comment for the next one. So, yeah, I got a good few questions for this video, so let's get started. First off with Dylan George. So Dylan George asked, since Carl, Sophia, Henry, and Enid are all dead on the show now, and assuming the show will end around the same time the comics did, how do you think the show will end? So I love this question, Dylan. This is a really cool question for sure. So, how do I think the Walking Dead TV series will end? So, and now seeing all those kid characters and teenage characters are dead, which most of them are not supposed to be. That's just kind of something they did for the TV show, especially Carl. Which, I will actually talk about Carl later on in this video, too. I got another question relating him. But, in terms of the TV series, how do you think the show will end, without those characters? Because in the comics, of course, we had Carl who kind of led that last issue. We're not gonna see that in the TV show because they've already made that stupid decision to kill off Carl, which I think is just the dumbest decision ever. But in terms of the TV series, I think Judith is what we're looking at. If they kill off Judith, I'm going to be furious. I'm going to be furious because that is something that I just don't want to see. I just don't want to see that. That is just so frustrating to see, something like that because honestly, Carl is dead. Who are the characters Dylan mentioned here? Yeah, Carl, Sophia, Henry, Enid, so they're all dead, and honestly, I say only one of them should be. I think Henry, but even him, like, I figure at times, like, it's like, I don't know, but, these characters all had roles. I feel like Sophia, maybe that's the only one they could keep dead because they kind of had Enid, but it's like they killed her off too, so it's like, really, what does it matter? But, how are they going to do an ending? So, will the show end where the comics are at? I don't think so. I mean, you could say maybe, but, I don't think it will, to be honest. I think that's just too predictable, but maybe it will. Really, you never know. But in terms of all that, how do I think the show will end? I think something Judith related. Whether it's skipping time and we get to see Judith when she's like 40 years old or something, or 30 years, just something like around that time. And we kind of get to see that she's leading all the communities, just like Michonne did, just like Rick did. I think that'd be a reasonable place to end the TV show, but I don't think that is, like, honestly 100%, like, I'm confident saying that, because they're killing off all the characters you'd think that they would keep. Rick, I thought they'd keep him until the last season or something. Maybe not to the series finale, but I thought Rick would maybe be in the last season at least. Was totally wrong, and then Carl also was totally wrong, and now they killed Henry when you think he was taking comic Carl's, counterpart. So you just can't predict with that anymore, but, definitely something to, to mention for sure. So I think something Judith related where it's some kind of peaceful ending, where there's still some stuff left open for maybe some kind of spin-off series or something they could do, just kind of like how the comics ended, except for the comics, I don't think they're going to do a spin-off, unfortunately, but, yeah, anyway, so thank you very much for asking the question, Dylan. Next one is from Shiva the Tiger, which I like that. That's really cool. What is the one thing you would change about the TV show if you were the showrunner? By the way, love your videos, bro. So, I thank you, by the way, Shiva the Tiger. I like that. But anyway, How would so? What would be the one thing you asked that I would change about the TV show if I was the showrunner? What would I change? So that's simple. I would just not kill Carl. I mean, that's just a really dumb move, and I think that's why Scott Gimple is not the showrunner anymore. I think that Scott Gimple and what he did with the time he had on the show. Season 4, I thought he did pretty well, to be honest. Season 5 was also good. Season 6 just blew me away. Except for the cliffhanger. But even that, now looking back at the cliffhanger, it's like, wow, they did a good job, because that was the #1 show, that everybody was talking about in 2016. That was just like, that was so popular. So, I actually thank Scott Gimple for making that cliffhanger, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody when I say that, because I know a lot of people didn't like the cliffhanger. I didn't myself. That was when I started making videos on my channel early in the early days of who did Negan kill, and honestly, I just think it was such a good idea, because just look at the ratings for the season 7 premiere. But in terms of what I would do differently, I would just not kill off Carl. I think that's something that's really dumb. Like Scott Gimple, like I said, even though season 6, season 5, season 4, I think he did well. Season 7, he screwed up a lot. I think, I'm not gonna lie, he screwed up a lot. And season 8 was good, but Carl's death just honestly made that season look so bad. So, really, when I look at it, I don't know. And there's even parts of Season 7 that aren't bad. It's just the season overall is very depressing and kind of annoying at times. But, right now, for Season 7 and for Scott Gimple and what I would do differently, if I had to pick only one, Shiva the Tiger, I would definitely, I would not kill off Carl, but if I had to pick one, I know it's kind of against the rules, but if I had to pick another thing, I would show run Season 7 and 8, and I would totally change everything. I'd still have the same outcome, except for having Carl there, but just not the way that went. No, definitely not. So, yeah, and then the last question is from Brian Archam, who asks, and he is a really good friend of mine on YouTube. He comments on all my videos. So big shout out to Brian Archam and all these people too in this video too. Dylan George, Shiva the Tiger, and Brian Archam. But for the last question, and it's a really good one as well. Do you think the show should conclude around season 12, like how the comics did? Norman and Melissa's contract will be finished by then, and do you think they'll sign for 3 more years after that? Basically, is what he's asking. So, that is a good question. Season 12 is a good season to end it on, but I just don't think people are ready for that yet. I think that it's predictable because that's probably where the comics end, but I don't like it because it's honestly such a predictable thing. I don't like the idea of ending it that way because, honestly, then you run into the problem of, like, well, you had so much other things to do. And also, I don't think the show's going to end like the comics at all. I just really don't think it will. Carl's not there, Sophia isn't there, or Enid or Henry to replace, so it's like you can't even do that. Or Lydia, or any of these characters, so it's dumb, in my opinion, to end it at this time, because, it's too predictable, it's very just, I don't know, it's just too, predictable, really, for the series, and I do think that Norman and Melissa, I'm not sure, but Norman Reedus seems like he wants to stay in the show for a long time, so I'm not worried about that, but, I think he might sign again for, later seasons, but, because their contract is up at the end of season 12, I do believe, maybe 13, but I think you're right, I think it's 12. But yeah, I just think for right now, I think we're probably good. I think Judith might lead the series after Norman Reedus and Melissa McBride are probably done with it. And then Judith will carry on, and maybe we'll see her, become teenage, maybe late teenage, depends on how the show goes and how long it runs for. But yeah, I just think that for right now, I think that the show has to end differently than the comics. And I think it has to be totally different, if you ask me. Just in my opinion. Maybe we could see a time skip where Judith is way older or something, but I don't know if people would like that either. So yeah, I don't know. But maybe that's an idea right there, though, for sure. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for your questions. Of course, I'll be doing a part 2 next Friday. All you got to do is write some Q&A questions. Just write them down below. I don't care if it's like 10 questions. I'll ask them all. So just don't worry about only writing one. Write 2 or 3 if you guys want to, honestly. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. It's great to be back, too. Sorry about missing a couple days. And, of course, I will be back with some more Walking Dead videos, starting with my character spotlight on Alpha on Saturday tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys really soon for that. Peace out.